Hi, my name is Julie, and thank you for coming for my persuasive speech. Today I'm here to persuade you to help support me in getting the state of Texas to lower the drinking age to 18. The topic of the legal drinking age has been argued time and time again, but I personally feel that the legal drinking age should be lowered. We refer to 18-year-olds as being legal adults. We allow them to make adult decisions. We expect them to take on new responsibilities for themselves and expect them to do their part to contribute to society, yet we don't trust them with a drink. And to me, this just doesn't make sense. Some may argue that an 18-year-old isn't mature enough, but I don't really think that's very ethical. It sounds more like discrimination in my book. So this country has some double standards pertaining to this issue. We're allowing these young men and women to fight for our country in the military. They can vote in our official elections, saying, here, we're going to vote for our country's leaders, and you can fight for and defend our country. And they can even sign their names on a legally binding contract, they can rent an apartment, things like that. Yet we will not trust them to have a drink, So just to give you a little background, here's the history of the legal drinking age. In 1934, the legal drinking age was 21, which was put into action by the ABC Act. Then in 1974, the age to buy beer was lowered from 21 to 18, but the age to buy wine and liquor remained at 21. That was until 1987, in which then the legal drinking age was raised to 21 for all alcoholic beverages. Did you know that the only reason why the legal drinking age was even raised to 21 was due to the manipulative tactics of our government? Did you know that in 1988, the U.S. federal government threatened each state to eliminate funding for highways until the state changed the legal drinking age? There were no ethical or moral dilemmas that were brought to the table here. It was simply a matter of money and control. And certain states have actually benefited substantially by raising the drinking age. They collect money from these individuals through prosecuting them for underage drinking. And the average age of the underage drinker on a college campus in Texas alone is 19. That's even above the age of 18. So they're still being punished as well. In reality, the government found that it is more beneficial to collect money by ticket cost, alcohol awareness education, license suspicion and probation fees, and it also provides free community service workers to do the city's work for them. So I feel that these punishments are fair to a person who has actually broken the law, but the law that was put into place here is an injustice to these young individuals. And so why are we prosecuting them? This was not because the government can't trust an 18-year-old. Instead, like I said earlier, they want more money. I've come to expect this kind of corruption from our government, which is pretty sad. Nowadays, like I said earlier, an 18-year-old can join the military. They can rent an apartment. They can buy a car. They can cast a vote for, in every November. And these seem to be pretty big responsibilities. And we're okay with sending them overseas to fight our wars, but we won't allow them to have a drink. If I'm going to trust a person to go and defend my country, and protect my own life as well as the lives of my loved ones, I think I can, trust them to have a drink every once in a while. There is a consistent rise in underage drinking in today's society. The majority of underage drinking is behind closed doors. And because of this, it's caused higher rates of drinking because of these restrictions. And by putting these limitations on them, we're driving them to go underground. We're driving them to put themselves into more risky situations, which involves binge drinking, higher rates of alcohol poisoning, and the result of death. Because these kids, they're having to hide it, and then they get fearful, and when it gets out of control, they don't want to call the cops because they don't want to get in trouble, and a lot of lives are being lost because of the situation. Others may argue that by setting the age to 21, it is already helping save 900 lives per year. But my argument to that is that underage drinking already has taken the lives of 3,300 lives per year. So although both these statistics are devastating, it shows that even more lives are lost rather than saved by keeping the age at 21. The reason for these higher statistics of death is due to the restrictions and limitations. If these individuals could openly partake in the rest of the adult activities, such as having a beer or two, this would definitely help them feel that they could drink without getting caught again. You know, they could act as an adult. They wouldn't feel the need to hurry up and drink 4 beers in a row. They could drink more moderately in a more mature social level. And if these threats of punishment were lifted, then we would see the number of deaths decrease and the number of lives saved increase drastically. So, in conclusion, this issue should not be swept under the rug by the government any longer. The longer they take to address this issue, the larger the number of deaths that we're going to see continuing to rise. If they're going to take away this right for these individuals, then they should go ahead and raise the age to join the military, for voting, for those legally binding contracts that they're able to sign. But honestly, I don't see the government doing so. I don't see them doing that. The government will lose troops for their military if they raise the age. They're going to lose votes for political gain. They're going to lose money, economical loss, by omitting these contracts that makes them so much money. So my question to you guys is, how much longer are we going to let the government manipulate the American voice? I say we should use what's left of the voices we still have in this country before it's too late. Thanks.